Good morning, dear students. How are you doing? I hope you are doing well. Today, we shall see a grammar lesson, which is very important, and that is on Unit 7 of the student book. So, the title of our lesson today is To Be in the Simple Past. We will see To Be in the Simple Past, and let's get started. Let's get started. So, the title, as I told you, that's the verb to be in the simple past. The verb to be in the simple past. We will see in today's lesson how we form to be in the simple past and how to use the verb to be in the simple past. And we will see some examples. And of course, we will see two exercises by the end of this lesson. And we hope to spend a nice time together. So as you can see here, we have the title and there is a tree. On this tree, there is the verb to be here on this big circle. That's the infinitive. And of course, when we talk about the verb to be in the simple past, we have was and we have were. Of course, was is singular and were is plural. So here on this slide, we can have a look and we see that there are two beers. We have one small beer and another adult beer. So let's read the sentences about these two beers and see. The first one, the beer is old now. The beer is old now, and we can see that this beer is old and adult. And the second sentence, the beer was young 6 years ago. So on the first sentence here, or in the first sentence, we have is. We have is. And what is that you can see here in the circle? This is the present simple. That's the present. So as you can see here on this, we have the present simple and it is now. So the beer is old now. So we're talking about the present. That's why we use is. And I just want to remind you that we have is and are and am. These are the forms of the to be in the simple present, like you have seen so far last year. So today we will see to be, but in the simple past. Okay, I remind you that we have I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are. These are the form of the simple present of to be. That's why we have is here. We're talking about the present time. Let's go back and see the baby beer. This is a baby beer, and the sentence is the beer was young 6 years ago. The beer was young 6 years ago. So here, as you can see, we have was, which is past, because I'm talking about 6 years. So I'm talking about 6 years old. That's the past. So we have 6 years, and this is past time. Present time, we use is. Past time, we use was. So let's proceed and see more examples. Here we have now, which means present, and we have then, now and then. And you can see here a picture of a girl wearing a pink dress. So we have two versions. The first one is slim and the second one is fat, but they are of the same person, the same girl. So this girl's name is Jane, and we have here blanks. Jane, fat now, but she thin last year. And we can have here, as you can see, we have is, which is here, as I told you, is here is about present time. Is about present. And we have here was, which is about past. Okay, which is about past. That's why I wrote here present time. And here we have past time. So if you want to write here to fill in the blanks with these two elements, is and was, we write Jane fat now. So present time, so it's automatically is here. And then we say, but she thin last year. I'm talking about last year. It's a past time. That's why I use was. So the sentence is, Jane is fat now, but she was thin last year. So here we have, as I said, a picture of a girl now and last year. Now she is fat, but last year she was thin. So the sentence is Jane is fat now, but she was thin last year. Let's proceed now and see more examples. Okay, here we are going to see the two forms of the verb to be. The two forms of the verb to be. So here we have the verb to be. Okay, the verb to be. In the past, of course, we have singular form and we have plural form. The singular form, of course, is was and was not. This is positive, as we shall see, and this is negative. So the singular form was and positive, and the negative form is was not. And we use them with pronouns. We use them with pronouns which are I, he, she, and it. We say I was, he was, she was, it was. It was. And this is here we have pronouns, subject pronouns or subjective pronouns, which are in fact singular. So let's go to the other ones, which are plural. So we go to the plural form here. We go to the plural form. We have were and we have were not with pronouns like you, we, and they. Of course, we say, for example, you were, and we say we were, and we say they were because it's plural. So plural. Here we have were, and here we have was. That's very, very clear. So I repeat, here we have now and then, was and is. That's present and that's past. And we have a sentence, Jane is fat now. I'm talking about this person here, this girl here. She is fat. And then we say, but last year, she was thin. So here we have thin. As you can see, we have a difference. We have a difference in size, of course. So that's it. In this slide here, we have to be, of course, in the past. To be in the past, when we talk about to be in the past, we have the singular form and we have the plural form. The singular form is was, and the plural form is were. The plural form is were. So this was can be used only with singular subjective pronouns like I, he, she, and it. And the plural form, which is were and were not, can be used only with you, with we, and with they. So let's see more here. Let's see the three categories of the verb to be in the simple past. We will see what? The positive, how to form in English, how to form the positive sentences, and how to form negative sentences, and how to form the question sentences or questions with the verb to be in the simple past. Okay, let's get started with the positive form. We have was and we have were. Of course, was is singular and were is plural, as we said last time. So I give you here two sentences to see, one in singular and the other one is plural. So the first sentence, I was at home last night. This is singular and this is positive. I was at home last night. So when I say it as I was, we can replace here I can be replaced with what? With he. Can be replaced with she. Can be replaced with what? With it, of course. Right? So these are the singular subjective pronouns which can be used with was. And here the second sentence, what do we have? We have were. Okay, we were at home last night. We were at home last night. This sentence here is plural. That's why this sentence here is plural. That's why we use were. And here, instead of we can replace it with you, as I told you before, and with they. So I was at home last night. He was at home last night. She was at home last night. It was at home last night. But for the we can say we were at home last night. They were at home last night. You were at home last night. So we have three subjective pronouns. So this is, or that was about the positive form. Now let's go and see the negative form of the verb to be in the simple past. So the negative form here we have was not, were not, or this was not and were not is full form. It can be replaced with contraction or short form, and we write it like this one. was not, wasn't, of course, with apostrophe between N and T. And this next one here is were not, can be replaced with weren't, which is short form or contraction. Weren't. So was not, were not, wasn't, weren't, negative form, short form, and full form. So let's read the sentences now. James was not in my class last year. James was not in my class last year. So as you can see here, we have not. So it is what? It is negative. It is negative. James was not in my class last year. James was not in my class last year. And we have the students were not in the yard. The students were not in the yard. So here we have students, that's plural S, and this is were. Now let's go and see the question form. Of course, this is positive, as you can see here we have a plus, and this is negative. And here we have question form. We will see now how to form. Questions using was not, were not. So there is just a mistake here. I correct it. So we have here just was and were. So question, was Mike here yesterday? Was Mike here yesterday? So this is how we form the question in English using to be in the past. So what is the order here? The order is subject. The order is was plus subject. Here we have subject plus was, and here we have was plus subject. So we say, was Mike here yesterday? Was Mike here yesterday? And the plural form, we say, were plus subject. Were your parents? This is the subject here, and this is the subject here. Were your parent teachers? Were your parent teachers? So in this slide here, what do we have? We have to be in the positive form, negative form, and question form, of course, in the past. Let's go and see more examples here. We have was. Like I was in Canberra last spring. I was in Canberra last spring. So this is singular positive. And let's see were. We were or were they in front of the supermarket? Here, as you can see, we have a question mark. So it is plural and question form of to be in the simple past. The next sentence wasn't, as I told you, here we have contraction, short form. The coronavirus wasn't expected. The coronavirus wasn't expected. And the next one here we have weren't. The next one here we have weren't. We weren't at school last Saturday. We weren't at school last Saturday. Again, here we have short form of to be in the plural in the simple past. So in these examples, we have I was in Canberra last spring. Were they in front of the supermarket? The coronavirus wasn't expected, and we weren't at school last Saturday. Now, I think we have finished the theoretical part of our lesson. We have seen the verb to be in the simple past, and that was and were, and we have seen them in the three forms: positive form, negative form, and question form. So we have was, wasn't, were, weren't. And when we talk about question forms here, we have subject, we have was plus subject. But for positive form, we have subject plus was. Like, for example, I was at home last night. So this is I and was, subject plus was. And for question form, we say, was I at school yesterday? So that's was, which is to be plus subject. So I hope it is clear for everyone. Let's do this exercise all together. We go to exercise 1 and to see to what extent you understand what we have seen so far in the first slides of the theoretical part of our lesson. So what is the instruction here? Complete the questions or complete the words with was and were. With was and were. As you can see here, we have she. So she is what? Is singular, is one person, she. We say Sarah, she. That's why it is replaced. It can be replaced just with one person, so singular. And when it is singular, that's was, of course. Carlos here. Carlos can be replaced with he. So he is singular. That's why we say was. She was. Carlos was. And then we have he and she. How many people do we have here? We have two people so far. So when we have two people, that's plural. And when it is plural, that's were. And then number 4, you and I. Again, here we have two people. That's why we use were is plural. So were. And we have they. They is automatically plural. So that's were. Costa Rica. Costa Rica is a city or a country. Yeah, Costa Rica is a country. Sorry. So is a country singular. So that's was. And we have a picture. A picture is singular. One picture is singular. It's. So we say the picture was or a picture was. And we have my bike here. My bike. Again, this is singular. So it can be replaced with it. So was. My bike was. And we have many people here. Automatically, many people is plural. And when it is plural, we use were, of course. So we say many people were. And then we have everybody. Everybody is singular. So everybody was. No, everybody, sorry, there is a mistake here. Everybody were. So it would say everybody were. So that's everybody were. Everybody were here before the party. So that's everybody is were. And then we have Diego. That's the name of a person, of a man. So that's he, singular. So again, it's was. And her hair, the hair is singular. Her hair, so it's was singular. And we have mice. Of course, this mice here is plural. Irregular plural of the word mouse. One mouse, 5 mice. One mouse, 5 mice. So this is irregular plural. So it's plural. So that's were. That's automatically were. And then we have horses. Horses, singular or plural, that's plural because we have s of the plural. So horses were. Horses were. And we have Lewis, that's was because it's a name. It's a person, it's a man. And we have we were, that's clear. Wilson was a name of a man. April, the month, January, February, singular. So that's was. And we have Jose and we. Jose and we, which is Jose and we, which is plural. So we use were. And we have my teacher, of course, one person is singular. We use was. We use was. So here in this exercise, we have seen when to use was and when to use were. I said was is singular and were is plural. So whenever we have plural, we use were, and whenever we have singular, we use was. So I read the sentences, or I read the elements once again. She was, Carlos was, he and she were, you and I were, they were, Costa Rica was, a picture was, my bike was, many people were, everybody were, and Diego was, her hair was, mice were, and horses were, Louis was, we were, and Wilson was, and April, of course, April was, and Jose and we were, and my teacher were. I hope this exercise is clear because it's an easy one. We focus on singular items and plural items. Singular items was, plural items were. So we go to the final exercise, another exercise, number 2 here. Exercise number 2. Exercise number 2. That's complete the sentences with was and were. Here we got to fill the blanks with the sentences. I give you the sentences first on the slide here. We have how many sentences? We have 9 sentences. Complete the sentences with was and were. Of course, we have 9 sentences. We'll read and try to find whenever it is, as I said, singular, that's was, plural, that's were. Okay, we start with the first sentence. How many, here we don't have actually a sentence, we have a question. How many people at your house last weekend? How many people here? Automatically, people is plural, that's why we use were, because it's plural. How many people were at your house last weekend? And number 2, The book wasn't difficult. So here the book, I'm talking about the book. The book is singular, of course. So the book can be replaced with the subject and pronounce it. So the book wasn't difficult, so it was easy. Here we have those, okay? Here we have those. Of course, when I say those, it is the plural form of that. We say that book, those books. So it is plural. That's why we say those were my best jeans. Those were my best jeans. And then we go to number 4, please. Dinosaurs. Of course, we have plural here, as you can see, S of the plural. So it is automatically were. Dinosaurs were prehistoric animals. Now we go to number 5. We have your friends at school yesterday. Here, it's a question. And we have your friends, not singular form, plural form. That's why we say, were your friends at school yesterday? So Sandra. Sandra is a name of a girl. So that's singular. So it is was, of course. So say Sandra was not at school yesterday. This is again negative form because we have was plus not here. So Sandra is a female name. So that's she was not at school yesterday. Next one, number 7. You nasty to me. Automatically we have you, and you is used automatically with were. So we say you were nasty to me. You were nasty to me. Let's go now to exercise. Let's go now to question or element number 8. Element number 8. Your grandparent designers. Okay, of course, here we have a question form. I forget to put a question mark here in the sentence. So we say your grandparent designers. Your grandparents here, singular or plural? Plural, of course. We have designers and we have grandparents, so that's the S of the plural. So we use by logic, we use were. So were your grandparents designers? Were your grandparents designers? Number 9 now, John and I. How many people do we have here? We have 2. Singular or plural? It's plural. So John and I in the garden were in the garden. That's were in the garden. So please, I hope this exercise is clear. I'll read the sentences once again. How many people were at your house last weekend? Number 2, the book wasn't difficult. It was easy. Number 3, those were my best jeans. Number 4, dinosaurs were prehistoric animals. And number 5, we have a question here. Were your friends at school yesterday? And Sandra was not at school yesterday. You were, number 7, you were nasty to me. And number 8, were your grandparent designers. And number 9, John and I were in the garden. John and I were in the garden. So, dear students, our lesson today was about the verb to be in the present, in the simple past. The verb to be in the simple past, we have 2 forms. We have 2 words. We have was and we have were. Was is singular and were is plural. And we have seen so far the 3 forms of the verb to be in the simple past: the positive form, the negative form, and the question form. And of course, I want to remind you with the subject, with the verb to be in the simple present, which is. We have is and we have was. Is present and was is past. So we have is, am, and are, as you see, and we have was and were. So this is simple present and this is simple past. And we have finished our lesson with 2 exercises. The first exercise, we have seen how to put was or were. Was when it is singular and were when it is plural. And the second exercise, we have some questions, some sentences in which we have blanks to put was and were. And this is again very easy because we have singular form of the subject, we put was, plural form of the subject, we put were. And I hope that our lesson today is simple and clear to everybody. And I would like to thank you so much for your attention and see you in the coming lesson, and take very good care of yourselves.